Hello everyone, how's it going today? Back again on the alien base, and it is coming along pretty good. That area that was kind of blocked out yesterday has now been textured, and I also kind of went around the side and did a little bit of something different with the solar panels. I did get the 15 on the base that I wanted to now, and got another turret mount position over here. Um, Plan on a turret mount position over here, and this other side is getting extended out further than what this side was. And I'm actually kind of in the process of moving the hangar door out further on this side as well to compensate for that. And then basically this side area in here needs to be filled in, and walls and all that fun stuff. Now, one other thing I was looking at is the single artillery that this base has is pointing out this way, so it can only shoot pretty much on this side of the base, looking out this way, and there's nothing that can shoot on the other side. So part of this, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to pull it off yet, but I wanted to get another artillery on this base pointing in the other direction. And what I'm kind of thinking is doing something weird in the corner over here or somewhere out in this area and get another artillery that can shoot in all these directions here. Now I know it's offset and it's not centered like it is on the other side, but well, that's part of the asymmetrical design, I think. So on this part here, what I was trying to do is move the hangar door out and fit it again. And I think we just get going with that. Since I've done everything else in concrete so far, I'm just rolling with that until I do the convert. So I only have to do it once. But I realized when I was trying to fit this hangar door, I needed to blow away the top part of the ceiling to get it to fit right in its new home. Okay. Still a little tricky fitting these big parts sometimes. Actually, that would. I went too far in on this side. Okay. Oh, before I forget, surprised it actually didn't collapse. I just started up the game and it tends to reset those options like SI and things like that. Come on. Oh, okay, I get it. Make sure that's in alignment. Okay, so this would be our side. Okay, so that goes one past it. One past it. Okay, so that should be perfectly lined up to the other side hangar door again. Alright. So now, how in the heck could an artillery come up here and have more height so it could shoot out that direction and, of course, these directions, given that there's solar panels here and everything else? Hmm. I got one idea. Yeah, start making some modifications over here to accommodate this. The idea would be to kind of build this up a little bit and build a pedestal for it. I'll just try to get it in roughly right now and then try to refine it once it's in. don't mind the square blocks right now. You know, it could almost fit here. So I need a 5x5 spot. I got a 4x4 spot currently. So I'm thinking if this had a lip that came out on one or both of these sides, it would fit already. Let's try that. No. Nah, I want up further too, so it's gonna be weird. But yeah, whole base is about being weird, so another weird part I don't think will make it that much weirder. Alright, I can make the lip out of combination of this block, simple block, and then on the sides, or the corner I should say, this awesome little block over here at corner A, nope, I'm sorry, corner half A1. Nice block, lines up to those two and gives you that nice little solid facing on like a lip, which I do like that a lot. So at this point, if this had a floor, well, in just a second here, this would be a area that you could easily put an artillery in. And I believe the center point would be there. Just mark it real quick. Something. Yeah, I think that could probably work out. Now, I'm going to modify these blocks to get it a little better looking and smoother in this area. Or make it more detailed one way or another. Could go with a route of like some kind of pipes or something too, again. Alright, well. If it did something like that. And yeah, there is a block that'll fit there, so that'll work. Now this is kind of weird what I got going on here too. I did this cut when I was doing it, so it kind of came out from one part to another. And I did that, you know, along with this weird combination of blocks kind of going up like a ladder, just to be different looking, really. I mean, that was the whole point of it. I'll tell you what I don't like is this straight wall here too. So this is our center spot. I'm going to replace this right now with a pipe. And don't mind the substrate. It's going to be replaced, I believe, now with combat armor. So it's going to have quite a change there. One thing that's interesting, obviously this is a concrete and carbon substrate right now, and I have a couple blocks of hardened steel in this base. But considering its current size, now granted there's no interior or anything, but it is it's only got an hour and 37-minute build time, despite all these, you know, it's got 12 cannons and 2 artilleries on it currently as well, plus all the other stuff. So it's not terribly expensive, you know, at this point. But when I do the conversion, you're going to see the build time go up a lot, and the cost go up a lot. But yeah, it needs it. This is it's going to be a high-end base, no doubt. Expecting it, I'm hoping it stays within class size 5. I know it's only 2 something right now, but I know how quickly you can shoot up class size with interiors, and that is easy to do. Well, it's kind of neat getting like little part at a time done. Focus on one thing and then move on to something else. Oh boy. This is some screwy angling, I tell you that much. What if it actually did this here, which would match the other side? More. And now it kind of almost looks like it's centered better. Except this part here. Not even sure what to do with it. Kind of strange, but I think it'll work. If I try to go in one further with this and keep on running this ramp upward, and then another one of these blocks up here for the lip. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay, so the back of their artillery. Let's replace this one with another one of these. And the last corner. Maybe also do that. Let's see how this... But that's not going to work out too well there. I don't think. Well, not too bad. On the back side here, maybe replace those two with these, but have the center. Oh, you know what? Perfect place for a pipe. I've been trying to add pipes anyway. And the reason why I suddenly jumped over to the carbon substrate here is I know how I'm texturing the pipes, that I'm going to need the other alternative textures, or not the concrete textures, I should say, or they won't look right. Alright, so that part's okay. How could you get more detail in this? And you know what? This row of blocks here too could probably stand something different. What if that just kind of came down like that? But you know, I almost want it to come out further than that. Let's drag it out by using one of these in there, and then make it kind of like a 3-block thing. Let's just say a full block goes there. And now it has to cut in and make room for this hangar door. Before I do that, let's do one other thing over here. and making a nice angle. And I have to figure out, do I want this angle or do I want the new angle? This angle would match this angle, but this is a different angle over here again. Yeah, let's go with this one. Oh, that's a great opportunity for the spange block. Line up perfectly. Okay, I like that. Okay, so this would be the bottom of the base right there too. So that fits all nice and neat. I got this 4x4 area here, and something else comes to mind. I haven't done any of this yet, and that is just put like a round thing here. Something a little unique. Now, what I'm thinking is taper it back in another row on the bottom. So get back to this set of blocks and do an alternative or a opposite bevel. Let's see, we'd have to start at here. One other thing about this base too, because of the, I don't know what you would call it, theatrics, that a lot of the walls are actually 2 blocks thick and not a single block thick. So that is also something kind of neat for more security or whatnot. Alright, so what I don't like is how that comes up to this piece here. So what if it got curved? Like that. And then we could actually build this up a block on the inside. And yeah, you know, how about another little jagged lip over here? I don't want to say jagged, but so rather than lining it up perfectly, we'll go one past that so you get a nice edge there. I like these edges a lot, especially for coloring things, because you can make nice color separation lines using this technique, which, I mean, kind of enhances the overall detail of it. When you're dealing with limited textures, you have to depend on color to do a lot of the detail, as opposed to trying to like texture everything differently. Yeah, that's a nice looking line there. I like that. The only thing is, well, let's think about that in a minute. Next big part would be to get this ramp part in place. And I'm going to cheat, and we're going to just take the one from the other side and copy it over. Oops, if I hit the right button. One more for safe measure. Okay. Rotate that and move it to the other side, maybe. I don't know if you guys ever done that. I hit the key next to the key I meant to hit, and then I throw my tool out of my hands. Done that many, many times before. So we know we got the ramp there. So we got one block in between where the ramp is and where this very strange angled wall is. You know what? Let me go shopping and get some more blocks here. Of course, I want to kind of keep this mostly for interior space. I don't want to lose too much room out of the deal, but could actually. I know these aliens don't do much in glass, but I could really try to do some kind of glass window setup over here, maybe. Let's just kind of map this out a minute, see how it comes out. I'm also looking at this spot here as a potential turret mount position. I think that would work out pretty good there. All right. That's not a lot of room though, currently. Awfully square too. God, is there a part that can fit in this? I don't think this is the right. No. I don't think there is an angled block unless you use the square one. That actually would work here. I almost like this position except for, yeah, the two sides that I beveled it on are gonna make the gun look like it's hanging over the edge. I don't really want that. So I think I'm gonna have to bring this out another and not bevel it there. Oops. Let's see how this turns out. So we got a bevel going into a curve. I think that'll work though. Maybe I can do the same thing on this side and actually make it look like it is some sort of actual turret mount position. And what to do here. Trying to use a different curve here might be a bad idea. I swear this should be able to fit somehow though. No, I'm guessing not. Alright, no biggie. Alright. So, another place for a Spanish block. And now I want to address the squareness of this somehow. So, let's see, can we run? Don't like that. How about a square to round transition? Up to that point. And then another one of these. Oh, that kind of works. Fills in the wall fairly nicely. Alright, so what to do here then? Don't want just a flat wall. Can't do that. That's just way too boring. So maybe get a little pattern in here. I'm gonna spend some class size here. Can always remove these later, but up in 4 of those. And there. So now it's got something to look at on the wall. Last but not least, this bottom lip here. Looks like it could probably stand something as well. If I did something like this, I could get like a texture edge across here and paint that differently. Kind of like a little highlight for the window. Um, Try to round that off. The only problem, I'm going to have that line there if I use that. Fortunately, I was hoping there would have been like a triangle that matched the same angle and had a triangle at the tip so it would line up. Be kind of a neat block to have for, well, some circumstances, but you know, probably not a highly widely used one. So how would you do glass in this area? I almost, you know, I also think this is a little not quite thick enough on the edge. What kind of glass do aliens use? Now I love this fancy glass or the heavy windows, but unfortunately they don't work doing the angles that I need. Unfortunately, they don't understand the 22.5 degree angles, so I have to go back to the old school glass typically if I want to do this kind of thing. That lines up pretty good there. Just out of grins here, I want to see what happens if I make a strip like that instead of trying to do full glass. And then get some blocks in here. Yeah, it looks a little more alienish that way, I guess. Whatever alienish looks like. So that's, yeah, base mapping of that area. I think that should work out pretty good. Let me just throw a cannon turret there a minute. It's a placeholder, so I don't forget. See how it fits. I was worried about that. A little bit over the edge over there. I'll leave it for now, but maybe I'll try to modify this, the angle blocks coming up to that point. Well, let's try it right now and see what happens. So I'll say you were square and you were, how about another one of these square to curve blocks. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. Now I'm kind of wondering, this block here, I bet you could stand the same thing. Yeah, yeah. Now it looks like it should, like it's its own little platform dealy. Oh, missing one more block. All this is kind of, I talked about the alien mothership or CV I want to build, and to get it right, too, starting with the base I thought was a good plan because this will establish a lot of the style and interior that the CV would need, and also kind of working out, you know, trying to define the body, the shape language and whatnot of these alien things better. And it's different going from like the SVs and HVs up to the bases, because with these I really didn't have to think about interior or the styling or a lot of the textures used. On this I have to think about everything and make it all try to work right. And of course, once you get the theme down and you know it, it's not so bad. But it's a lot of trial and error to start with. So now we're down to the last corner section here, and kind of getting excited about that because it's almost to the point where the body of this thing is done. But now this area obviously changed so much that none of the old blocks can work anymore. So I'm gonna just get rid of some stuff and try to build this out over here. If I can get this last piece hooked up decently, I think I'd be all set. I do like this formation here. I don't necessarily like where I've got it, but I like the looks and the shape of it. So I want to keep it, but I don't want it where it's at anymore. Oops. So we're going to cut that out and paste it again. Let's say we bring this out and over. So what if that was sitting right there? And yeah, I think I could deal with that. Okay. Now the bottom part of this. Although either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I'm probably going to start. I'll do a video on starting that mothership. I thought about it today, but I wanted to get more progress done on this first before I start getting another new project. Got a lot of projects floating around right now, so it's sometimes I kind of wonder if I don't overdo it a little bit. Oh, I'm pretty sure I do. Just exploring the idea of putting in some angles here again. Not sure how it's going to look though. If I just go right back into an angle from the same angle, then you get kind of a pointy thing going on. It's not all bad, but I think it can work. Alright, then of course in this corner too, yet another turret mount. And actually, coming off from this thing, I might actually, that'd be a good spot for yet another turret. You can get a lot of turrets on a base. Being at like 16 cannons currently and 2 artilleries, I believe the actual count you can go to is 30 total turrets on a base plus 2 artilleries. And that is like maxed. I don't intend to max out the turrets on this, but it's going to have good defense, so regardless. What to do over here, though? Really wanted to get some kind of piping formation or something like that over here. I think would be cool. So what if it had not one pipe, but multiple pipes coming out here? Maybe split apart by a block like that. pipes went from that. So they came out one, then curved. And then went back into another one of these. That could work. Alright, so let's try to get some angled something or other going on this on the bottom corner here. And well, screwing up my turn mount position, at least down here though. Alright, 2 pipes then. Okay, so there's a low turret mount. Pretty low though. I was wondering if I didn't do that too low here. Well, it does line up nicely with what's there already. Okay, so above this, I kind of wanted yet another turret mount position. Probably something that's going to aim out that way. Okay, let's just say the heck of it that the turret mount position actually is sitting on top of here. Nah, let's go one higher with that. Okay, so it's there, and then on the top we can bevel it out so it sticks out a little bit more there. Alright, so that works out good for that. Let's just run this angle on the side just like it is already. Alright, so the upper corner area. How is this going to work out? that can work. Probably not. But I think this could. Yeah, I think that will work. Love having these new little pieces to be able to do this kind of thing with. I can do like a bevel lip on the bottom and also taper this in. Kind of leaves an area to see inside of the pipes. Still need a wall here. That. How the heck do I join these two sides together? Da, da, da. Maybe I don't. Maybe I turn this back. Well, see what happens. Certainly funky, but yeah, it kind of works that way. Okay. So that easily gives us a couple more turret mount points. At this point here, I can just kind of fill that in. And last but not least, getting excited. It's getting close. Getting close. Well, I mean close on the exterior. Interior, I have a feeling it's going to take a while too, because it's going to be a different theme. And it's a theme I actually don't have any experience with really yet. So I'm going to have to kind of invent things as I go. this is just some weird corners. Say that much. Hey. Oh. Oh. That's going into that, and this is angled. Ah, jeez. God, is there a transition block that can fit with that? So it'll be going from... No, that goes from that to that, not from this to this. Don't think there's going to be a block that fits there. But, that's okay. That's okay. In these circumstances, this is something I do quite a bit. If I know there's no solution, unless I like rebuild this wall again, which I'm sure I could find something else that will work too. But, I want more turrets. So, what I could easily do is just make it look like it's supposed to be that way. And what I'm thinking about doing is taking this dual turret crazy part here and putting one of these on the other side. It's gonna be a little messy, but yeah, okay, let's try it. Can I fit this thing here? How far can it go in? Yeah, I think I'd want to keep it that far out. Okay. Didn't expect that. All right. Of course, I'll, have to beef up its support. That looks a little flimsy right now, but I think that'd be kind of neat. And then you got a couple of these side turrets on each side. Now in its position, though, I do worry that they don't have the angle because they'll hit the bottom here a little bit. But the only way I could get away with that is putting it out further yet. I don't really want to, cosmetically speaking. Alright, a couple more placeholders here. I gotta say, this position here is almost big enough to fit 2 turrets. In fact, it might be if I did a little bit of modifications in the one corner here. I might look into that. So, okay, just an evaluation on all this here. How defended is this side? I don't think it's as strong as the other side yet. Got 1, 2 turrets, artillery, another one. You know, plus the top ones, it's really not bad. So what is the weak side? This side? We got 1, 2, 3 artillery, and some further away turrets that some could probably hit. Then again, this is not like a PvP base. It is a PvE thing, and it's probably going to be designed to stop the AI from taking your base or destroying it. Yeah, okay. It's possible a couple more turret mount points might get put on here before it's all done. But I think that covers the last side pretty much, the base, sort of like the texturing part. I'm going to leave part of this untextured for tomorrow's tutorial, because I kind of wanted to show you how it's getting textured. It's a different process than what I did with all my existing things. So it's done a little bit differently, different textures, things like that. But once it looks textured, or once it gets textured, it really changes the look of it. I do like how that comes out now. Yep. And then other than that, it's the top of this. I could build this out right now, but my whole thing is what I always end up doing is I do all kinds of fancy little tricks with the blocks on the bottom side of the landing pads, so I can create beams and things from the inside that you can see. And that is a nice thing about having landing pads too, is because you got the one whole side that has to be flat anyway. So then you got the other side that you can trick the blocks out with. And I do that a lot. I mean, it's like if you look at pretty much all my stuff, it's the exact same thing I end up doing. Oh, by the way, if you see this, how this looks right now, Alpha 10 did something, or a really recent patch, but it screwed up all the lines on a lot of things. And so far, I spawned this again somewhere and I fixed it over there. So this is the new fixed version that I uploaded to the workshop, and all the lines are straightened out again. And I ended up doing the same thing so far to the Hephaestus spaceport. All the lines were all screwed up in this as well. They are again fixed up. But if you have things out on the workshop yourself too, you might have a lot, and if you use decals and stuff like that, you might have a lot of misalignments and textures themselves too. It's like they change the rotation on some blocks. So it's, yeah. Getting close, but one last little thing, and this is far from really ready, but the upstairs area of this ship is getting some work done to it. It doesn't have its final detail or anything like that. It's not fully finished, but I'm kind of getting the ship laid out, and this is kind of what the upstairs would look like. And it's going to give you a couple crew rooms that are unfinished, open space over here. Yeah, it's got a little bit of lounge, but I kind of and then you got your 2 farms over here. And the front corridor will head down into this dangerous area. I'm going to use one of these new doors here. I'm going to try to mark this, that this will kill you if you go in there unprotected. And it will. I mean, as soon as you walk in, it's like, wow. But I'm going to try to set this area up so there's lots of plug-in spots to add additional parts, such as fuel tanks and things like that. So it'll be useful in the point of making your ship, beyond stock. But as it is stock, this ship will, because it is going to be released at 7500 CPU. However, it's with the storage and everything else, it's kind of set up to like throw in a bunch more parts as soon as you get it, and it'll save the build time costs a little bit too. Um, so this is actually the next release thing that's going to happen, and I'll probably get this finished up in today or tomorrow. I'm expecting like maybe a Thursday or Friday release for this, and um, name-wise, it might have a female name. I was looking at the name Asteria, and why I'm looking at that is that is the name of the wife of Perseus. So it would kind of fit that way. And it's a prettier ship, it's not, I don't know, it kind of looks like a yacht in a way. So I don't know. That is a strong candidate on names, at least. I don't know if I'm going to absolutely go with that yet, but I'm thinking, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I had a couple other names picked out, but trying to go with that whole Perseus Greek god theme for the for those kinds of ships. Even Nemesis had to do with that. So kind of a set, I guess you would say. The Perseus, Nemesis, Asteria, um, all kind of go together. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will either be back working on this tomorrow, and I did want to show you some texturing on it, but not the whole thing. I don't want to make you suffer through all of that, but at least the area so you can see what's going on. And yeah, that alien mothership CV thing too. I mean, one of these times I'm just going to head out into space and start laying blocks out, and I'll see if I can get a general shape in my head translated to blocks in like a 3D Minecraft look to start with, and then refine it from there. All right, well, you all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot.